What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 4 of the Casey and Tyler Show. We got a packed show for you guys today. Going to talk a little bit about Albert Pujols, still climbing the ranks on his road to 700. We'll get into our college football Week 2 recap, talk some NFL Week 1, and obviously discuss some fantasy football as well. Casey, anything to say to the fans?
No, I'm good. Let's just get into it.
Let's do it. How's your week? What are we recording on a Monday?
Recorded on a Monday. Yep.
So it'll be uploaded on Tuesday the 13th. Because we didn't record over the weekend, I just wanted to start the show off. Obviously 9/11 was yesterday, Sunday, NFL Sunday. I thought the NFL throughout all the games did a good job with the coverage. Obviously, remembering those who we lost that day, and obviously thanking all the hardworking service men and women that lost their lives trying to save people, and then obviously those who went overseas to protect our freedom and to fight terror. I just wanted to recognize that because we're obviously Americans, and that was we'll always remember where we were that day. So I don't remember in the past, and I know week 1 of football starting on 9/11, but I guess it probably always typically falls around that time.
Yeah, it's around that time. I don't know the last time it was actually on 9/11, but
yeah,
it's always usually around that time because it's like the second. It's always the second week in September usually.
That flag for the Sunday night game had been the largest American flag I've ever seen. It took up the entire field.
Oh, I've seen flags like that.
It was
before.
crazy.
Usually Dallas always has flags like that
big,
just takes up the entire field or whatever.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool when you see all the people waving it and stuff. It was a good scene. So some small news. LeVeon Bell knocked out Adrian Peterson in a boxing expedition.
Yeah, that was
This is
fun.
what these guys are doing?
I guess so. That's what you do after the NFL. You just box your competitor, box the guy that you've been competing against, who's to see who's the best running back in the league or whatever. I guess you guys just box it out.
Yeah, so I was reading an article on Yahoo Sports. I mean, I can't believe that this is what it seems, and it's not just them. There are so many former athletes. They're like, yeah, I'll box, I'll do UFC, and they always stink at it. They always suck at it. So I was reading an article.
Like Nate Robinson.
Yeah, Nate Robinson got fucked up. He's horrible. So according to Yahoo Sports, it was sparsely attended. Nobody showed up. It was a 5th round KO, and it says here it said that the former NFL running back, talking about Le'Veon Bell, was embarrassing in the first 4 rounds. Each boxer only landed a handful of blows and a few, if any, significant strikes. And then it says the announcers glumly attempted to justify what viewers had paid for. So it sounded like it was just a shit show.
I mean, when I saw that, I was like, I'm not paying for this shit.
Yeah,
why would I pay for that? I mean, this is no. You guys are washed up NFL running backs now. Go retire, live happily ever after. Go do side businesses. Don't box each other.
Yeah, I always wonder too, is this because they're broke and need money, or is it because they're bored and have nothing else to do and they're still craving like attention or the limelight? I hope that they're not broke. I mean, Le'Veon, he got the bag from the Jets, you know what I mean? That wasn't too terribly long ago. But we wanted to put this on the show sheet just because this keeps happening with former athletes, and every time they look like shit. Yeah,
it's just funny to me.
It's pathetic.
It is.
It's pathetic.
It's like that's how you have to make money now,
right?
Boxing each other.
So yeah,
Getting
I mean,
stocks.
we'll see. it's every time one of these, like I said, one of these athletes does it, it's just a horrible showing and it's embarrassing for them. Yeah, I'm like, come on, guys, go coach high school football or something.
Right?
Yeah, do something you're
Go
good
do
at.
something with the sport that you were professional in. Why? What
Yeah.
are you trying to do with boxing?
Albert Pujols hits 696 and 697 over the weekend.
Yep. Ties A-Rod and then passes A-Rod in the same weekend.
Yeah, so he's now fourth all time.
Fourth all time. Babe's number 3 sitting at 714. You think Albert can get that high?
No way. There's not enough games left in the year, and I don't think he's going to play another year. I do think we're trending in the direction that he's going to get 700 though.
Oh, he's definitely getting 700, and I don't know. Do you think he's done, or is he just gonna try to get to 715 next year? I think it'll probably depend on what number he ends at this year.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If he gets a 705,
the thing is, I don't think the Cardinals would have him back because I mean they're a good team, and that roster spot could go to someone that can contribute more.
what if he's like, "Well, give me the men's salary."
I mean, yeah, I don't think they're paying
for 715.
Even then, dude, I think he hangs it up if he gets to 700. A cool story from that though, and I told you this earlier. There was a couple that caught, I think, the 697 ball, and they went to return it to Albert, and he found out that a year ago to that day, her dad had passed away. And he said, no, you keep the ball.
That's a cool story.
Yeah.
That's cool by him.
Yeah, he was like, you keep the ball. That'll mean more to you than it will to me. And I was like, I like that. We've always known Albert to be a good guy. Just based on what you read around the news, he's never really involved in any scandalous things throughout his career. That's a cool move. There are definitely MLB players that would be like, don't really care. Let me get that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Be like, I want it for me because I'm now, that's the ball that made me
pass A-Rod.
Fourth overall now.
Yeah.
So I want that ball, but that's cool by him to let her keep it.
It's pretty cool. And it looked like, based on the picture, that he had signed it for her. And he'd given him a couple other balls that looked like based on the picture. But I thought that was cool. Let me move in. We talked about this a couple shows ago regarding LIV Golf and the DP World Tour and some of the LIV defectors playing in this event because they need to get World Golf ranking points. It actually ended up being a great event. Shane Lowry won it with a birdie on 18. Then he had to stick around because Rory was close, and Rory had a birdie putt to force a playoff. I think Rory and Rahm tied second. Rahm played great on Sunday. Finished with a 62, 10 under 62. I think on the back nine, he had 5 birdies and 2 eagles. That's a round of golf. It was cool. I mean, it was a good event. They played it at Wentworth. I love Shane Lowry, the Irishman. He's just a guy that looks like you'd want to have a beer with him.
Oh, 100%.
Albeit I wouldn't drink again. I know that's what he was drinking, but I wouldn't do that. It was really cool. He posted a TikTok after he won, and it was basically him, his caddy, his swing coach, his manager, and a couple other guys. And it was them going around saying, this is my name and this is my first beer of the evening. And then it went around at the end, and they were all fucked up. And he was like, my name's Shane Lowry, and this is my last beer of the evening. And it was just funny video. He's trying to win that PIP money, the money that the tour has created for basically social media influence. I thought that was cool. By all accounts, Shane Lowry's just like a great dude. There's no one on tour has a bad thing to say about him. So I was happy for him. He was pretty emotional after the win, and it was cool to see that. Taylor Gooch, who's one of the LIV defectors that played in the event, looks like he played well enough to earn him a spot at the Masters next year. He moved up to 35th in the world, up from 46th in the world, and that's likely enough to get him the Masters next year. So, I mean, considering all things said and done, for him to play in that event, knowing that he has to play well enough to get him a spot in the Masters, I thought that was worth mentioning. And
welcome.
Right, yeah, I know. And the next LIV event will be in Chicago. We probably won't.
Screw him.
Right. Yeah, man, that wasn't very long into the show, and you're already dropping F-bombs, Case.
No, I mean, well, hey, we're 9 minutes in. Last episode, I was 5 minutes in. I'm improving.
You want to move on to our college football week 2 recap? That's all I got for Wentworth. You got anything to say besides fuck them?
I got nothing to say about that.
You're a Shane Lowry guy, though.
I like Shane Lowry. I mean, I didn't watch this tournament. It's football season, so golf season's over to me until next year.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, let's get into our college football week 2 recap. Cue the music. Dun, dun, dun. It'll be in there. Don't worry. Georgia Southern at Nebraska. This is a great one to start with.
Great one to start off. Georgia Southern heading to Nebraska. You would think Nebraska would win this game and kick the shit out of them. Georgia Southern wins 45-42. Georgia Southern takes the lead with a touchdown with 36 seconds left, following by Scott Frost getting canned at 1 p.m. on Sunday. That was great by Nebraska by doing that, honestly.
Yeah, so you know, as everyone knows, Nebraska is one of the meccas of college football. They're historically a great program. Even just dating back in the day, they're just a very historic program, and they've been horrible as of late. I think Scott Frost was 16-31 while he was there.
Yeah.
This was his 5th season.
Let's just go over his records. First season, 4-8. We'll give him that. First season.
Yeah. I'll give him the first 2 seasons. Let your players get in there. Yeah, first 2 years.
4-8 his first season, 5-7 is next year, 3-5 the year after that because of COVID. That was the COVID year. They only played 8 games.
Yep.
3-9 after that, and then this year he started off 1-2 before getting canned after the 3rd game of the year.
So, and this is how you know they were so done with Scott Frost, is that if they would have waited to fire him until October 1st, like less than a full month, his buyout would have went from $15 million down to $7.5. That's how much. That's how you know the boosters, the athletic department. They were like, "We got to get this guy out of here. We're not waiting. We don't care about the 7.5."
The timing of it was perfect too, because like they did it at 1:00, week 1 of the NFL. So it's like, no, it's not really big news. It's just people are just gonna blow right over it.
Yeah,
if you waited until October, that's huge news. People talk about it for a couple days.
Yeah,
but I'll guarantee you, people talked about it, and then people will forget by Saturday. Be like, wait, where's Scott Frost?
Yeah, because everyone's focused on the NFL. It could have flown on the radar for people for sure. I mean, even listening to some local sports talk radio today, and I know Nebraska's not necessarily local, but they do play in the Big Ten. It was hardly mentioned just because, like you said, everyone wants to talk about the games and
football, Michigan football,
right.
Michigan State football. I mean, just week 1 NFL period.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, that was big news. We'll see who they bring in. You know, they're gonna let the assistant coach be the interim coach going forward. My guess is they probably won't stick with him. They'll probably, you know, Nebraska's a big job. They'll find a name, hopefully, for sure. I want Nebraska to be good at football. College football is better when they're relevant.
It makes the Big Ten better.
Yeah. Moving on.
Joke of the school here.
This is a tough one for our man King Casey. Marshall defeats number 8 Notre Dame at Notre Dame 26-21. Marcus Freeman is now 0-3 as a head coach. This was an ugly game for Notre Dame.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, luckily I didn't really watch it because I was working a golf outing. By the time I got home from it, it was towards the end of the game. But I watched Notre Dame's quarterback. He threw a pick. There was literally one receiver on the left side of the line, and he was looking at that left side the entire time. Where the fuck do you think the ball is going?
Yeah, he was just staring him down.
He's just telling that corner from Marshall, hey, here's a ball, here's a pick 6, here's the dagger of the game. I'm going to throw it right to you. You pick it off, and you just run it back to the house, and that's what happened.
Well, it's funny, too, because, well, not funny. That was a poor choice of words. Poor choice of words by yours truly. The starting quarterback from Notre Dame got hurt. And I think he's out like 6 to 8 weeks.
I mean, he's good. I mean, I don't root for injuries, but
maybe a change of
court. I mean, we might have someone that can at least throw to a guy with a gold helmet.
I mean, hopefully, I know the backup they brought in threw a pick as well. So I don't know if you're referring to the backup throwing the pick or if it was the starter.
Seeing Joe Buck on Monday Night Football just made my day.
Yeah, tickle you inside a little bit.
Oh, it did.
Yeah,
it did 100%.
He's so good. Anyone that doesn't, the Joe Buck slander, I don't understand.
Great announcer.
Yeah,
I'm so mad that he's not going to be announced from the World Series this year.
Yeah, that's what I remember growing up, watching him in the postseason. He was always great. one of his most infamous calls is like that's a disgusting act by Randy Moss. That was like, okay, that's a little much, but yeah, that was funny. So regarding Notre Dame, there's not much else to say there other than that Notre Dame's clearly overrated. I think when
Oh, I
the
said at the
ranking,
beginning of the season when they came out at 5, it was 5, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah,
When they came out and started the season at ranked 5th in the nation, I knew that was way too high for them.
yeah. Well, didn't you bet their season win total?
Yeah, I bet Notre Dame minus 8.5 wins this
That's
year.
looking like a great bet. It's a good bet.
It's a great bet.
If he starts 0-6, does he get fired? Or if the Notre Dame starts 0-6, do they can Freeman? Or do you give him a
I
full
would say
year?
it depends on how the games look. I mean, but it's like, do you give the guy a full year, like you said?
Yeah. So I think part of it too would be like it'd be the athletic director's job to kind of have his finger on the pulse of that team. And if the players aren't giving up, if they're playing hard and they believe in that guy, it could just be one of those years. I mean, we looked at their schedule earlier today. They got Cal, and then they go to North Carolina.
Yeah.
I think that's the
I
next
think
two
it's
games.
Cal to North Carolina, then I think it's back home against Stanford.
They could drop 2 of those. I mean, they just lost to freaking Marshall. So,
Yeah, not looking forward to it.
all right, let's move on. This was a great game, probably the game of the week in my opinion. Number 1, Alabama goes to Texas. What a ball game.
Yeah, this was a noon game. I was very mad that I was watching bits and pieces of it at the golf course that I was working at.
Yeah.
And it looked like, from what I saw, that the Texas crowd definitely got to the Alabama team.
Yeah, they definitely had an impact on that game.
So I think Alabama had more penalties in the first half last game than they did in the entire game.
So they had the most
Week 1.
penalties ever in the Nick Saban era. I think they had 14 penalties.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah, so they definitely were costing themselves. Casey's just messing with the AC
fucking
here.
hot.
It's a little warm in here. It's just cool. At least you can do it from your phone. That's fancy. Is Texas back? We're back.
See, I don't know. I have to see another game out of him. I mean, Texas quarterback Quinn
Ewers. He got hurt.
went down in the first quarter. He's out 4 to 6 weeks with a sprained SC joint.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long he's gonna be out. I mean, their backup Hudson Card came in, played pretty good.
He did his job. He didn't try to do too much. He
didn't force anything. It looked like
right.
he played good.
He played within himself. And you talk about a gamer, he was limping. He was not right. There was a play where he rolled out right and he scampered for the first down, and it looked like he was in so much pain. And I think it was one of those things. Steve Sarkisian, the head coach of Texas, was like, "Dude, we got no one else, so you gotta just
like you're our only chance. So
Yeah.
you're in."
Yeah. It was a great game. We just said again, Bryce Young is so good. I hate this. It happens all the time in football where there's like a minute or so left, and it just seems like even if all game you couldn't go down and score, teams just seem to be able to move the ball will with a minute left.
I think that is more of a, especially late in the game, it's more of the defenses are playing more back so they don't get beat over the top, and then they're also trying to keep you in front of them. They're trying to keep you in the field. They're not trying to have you run out of bounds. So they're going to give you that extra space to where they'll give you the 3 or 4 yards here and there, because once you get further down, they're going to try to, or a certain point, then they'll start stepping up that defense.
It was my dad has always said this about prevent defense. The only thing prevent defense does is prevent you from winning games, because you stop blitzing, you stop getting after the quarterback, and all of a sudden these dinks and dunks go for 15, 25 yards. And in college, clock stops after a first down. So you're able to come up, get set. You're not wasting any time. Again, it was a great game. I don't know if this is an indictment on Bama. That's a tough place to go and play. And if you don't show up, you can get punched in the mouth. They pulled it out. They pulled it out, sneak one, last minute field goal to win it.
We'll just say Bama might not lose the game for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that was
because how Bama's that team that they'll get that one loss and then all of a sudden Nick Saban's like, no, we're not. That's not happening again.
Not happening.
So it's that this might be one of those that they didn't play. I don't think Bama played that good.
Yeah, no, they definitely played a little down.
Down to their opponent, I feel like.
Yeah,
I mean, look, it was a good game. I just feel like out of the two teams that were here, especially with the spread being at 20.5, is Bama should have kicked the shit out of them. Maybe not by 20, but at least double digits.
Yeah,
not by a point. Not by it's coming down to Bama having to score and then making a stop with a minute left or whatever to stop Texas.
It was a good game. I just had a thought that I was gonna say and it escaped me. But I was gonna say regarding like you said about Saban, basically this is a game where it kind of resets Bama a little bit, where you can be like, hey, we got lucky there, we pulled it out, but we cannot show up.
We can't do that against Georgia in the SEC championship.
We can't have 14 penalties, or I think it was 14.
We do that against Auburn, we're gonna lose.
Right, because when you gotta think, even though you're Bama, when you have been that good for that long, you're getting everyone's best. People are jacked to play you because if they can dethrone Bama, that's huge. So you're not gonna. People are gonna play Bama hard every single time, and for Bama to show up there and maybe they maybe kind of were looking past it a little bit. I don't know. It was a great game. I felt for the Texas fans, even though we were on the wrong side of that one betting wise.
It was still a phenomenal game.
It was so good of a game that I didn't really care. You know what I mean?
It got towards the end, and it hit like I think it was like the fourth quarter at the beginning. I was like, you know what? Screw my bet. I want Texas to win outright.
Yeah, same. Yeah, same. I was doing the hook 'em in my living room, like, come on, So yeah, to me that was probably the best game of the week. This was also
this was a funny story just because of the video that I sent you earlier today of the Texas A&M fans.
Yeah.
So Appalachian State heads down to Texas
College Station.
I was like, I knew it, and then it just went.
I saw it. I
saw it
away. Yeah.
So it heads to number 6 Texas A&M and beats them 17-14. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The videos I saw of Appalachian State fans in Appalachian.
Oh, dude, did you see that video of that one street? Fans coming in from both sides, and all of a sudden there was just thousands of people going nuts.
It was mayhem.
Counters, whatever.
It reminded me of like downtown Mount Pleasant, where there's just like one long street of bars, and it's just kind of a cute little college town feel.
Everyone was like, "We're meeting at Central Square."
It went from like a peaceful Saturday afternoon to like lock your doors and stay inside. The kids are drunk and they are going crazy.
Yeah, if you're on the roads, your car might get flipped.
It was nuts. One of the funnier stories, and I felt bad for the Appalachian State players because they just wanted to go back to North Carolina and party. Their charter got delayed, and they had to stay overnight in College Station.
Nope. I'm like, get us on a plane. We're at college.
Yeah.
Take us on a plane back to North Carolina?
Yeah, yep. So yeah, I guess something happened to their charter. They boarded it, then they had to deboard, and they had to go back to the hotel, and stay there again. The article I read said players and some of the fans that travel were just all spread out through the hotel, just having a good time. If you're a coach, and I know not all college kids are 21, but for the ones that are 21, I'd be like, go get your, celebrate responsibly. I don't know. I'm not a college coach. I don't know how that works. They're going to do it anyway. But go ahead, get a couple racks of Busch Light, and you guys earned it. We just went and beat the number 6 team in the country. Come on now. That's two big upsets.
Place to win.
Yeah, that's 2 big upsets this week with Marshall, Notre Dame, and Appalachian State. Yeah.
The third one we'll be talking about later on.
Yep. So yeah, that might not have been the most fun game to watch. If you like high scoring games, this one wasn't for you. I love a good defensive matchup, and it looked like when you got into the fourth quarter, you could tell that Texas A&M was tight. They were uptight, they were nervous. You could hear a pin drop in that stadium, and it was you could just tell the moment kind of got to them a little bit. And Jimbo Fisher, that recruiting class ain't looking good.
Wasn't that a number one?
Class? Not looking good, and not looking good for the Aggies this year.
One thing that I found funny about this was today there was a video that surfaced of Texas A&M fans. They had a little pep rally before the game was like the Friday before the game or whatever. This fan comes out and was like, I don't even know where Appalachian State is. I had to look them up. I'm pretty sure Appalachian is not a state.
Yeah, that guy was ass.
Like,
I
and
hated that
then
video.
I cringed the entire
It
time.
wasn't even funny what he was saying. I think he
No,
was like a comedian or he was supposed to like be funny.
it was.
It was so cringe, Casey.
And then your team lost
Yeah.
17-14 by a team you'd never even heard of.
Mm.
That's joke's on you. Okay.
This was a good game.
This was a really good
Number
game.
24 Tennessee traveling to number 17 Pittsburgh. Tennessee wins 34-27 in overtime. Great game. It was a good game. I was rooting for the over. We didn't get it.
Dude, the way the first half looked, I thought the over was going to hit.
I thought it was locked.
So did I. We talked about it. We texted about it, talked about it on the phone. We're like, this Pitt Tennessee game is going over. And then they made a great defensive adjustment at halftime.
Shit, I think I was here for that game.
And 10 total points. Yeah, I think you were here for the end
Yeah,
of it.
for the end of it.
10 total points in the second half by both teams.
Yeah, it's good defensive adjustments. Tennessee, might be okay this year. That's another place. I'm starting to kind of grow on Pittsburgh football. That's 2 games I've watched this year, and that stadium, man, those fans they get into it. They get amongst it. They get after it. It was a good game. I'm not sure what it says necessarily about either team going forward. I think they're pretty evenly matched.
I would say so. I mean, it was a great game.
Yeah. We talked about Nebraska. I want Tennessee to be good at football again.
Yeah, that's one team that it's like I have a love-hate relationship with them. Yes, I want them to be good, but it's also I'm like they're an SEC team.
Right. Yeah.
Not really, because I don't really need too many. If there's like
Go Vols.
6 good SEC teams and there's only 4 good Big Ten teams, I mean, people are just that whole SEC is king is that talk's going to come back.
Yeah. No, you're right. But
This next game was hilarious when I found out about it.
Wisconsin stinks.
Washington State heading to number 19 Wisconsin and beats them 17-14. I don't think Wisconsin scored a single point in the second half.
I think you're correct. Yeah. That's another team like Wisconsin. The problem is with programs like Wisconsin that like to run the ball and Big Ten football, pound it down your throat. The problem is when you get behind, and I know they only lost by 3. If you don't have a good vertical passing game, it can be really difficult to get the momentum back on your side. Washington State, sneaky good uniforms in my opinion. Shout out Danny Seibert for texting me about those.
Oh no, dude, I love Washington State. So I totally forgot about the team that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Washington State's jerseys. I love what they had, the gray helmet with the red.
Yeah.
Whatever. What are they? The
Cougars, right?
The Cougars.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
Washington. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Cougars. Sneaky good uniforms. I loved them when Mike Leach was there because Mike Leach, a former coach, I think he's at Missouri now or Mississippi State. He's hilarious. Like it's one of those. I think it's Mississippi State. You watch him give an interview. There was one time where a reporter asked him what it's like getting married, and he gave this really thought out, long response about going through wedding prep, and you're going to ask you this color, and you can't just say, yep, I like that color, because then she's going to come back and be like, well, you're just saying that because you don't care. And it was just a really hilarious response for Mike Leach's. He goes, did that answer your question? The reporter was like, yeah, no, that was. I thought you'd just give me a one-off.
One of the best Twitters to follow too is Mike Leach.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, I don't know. Wisconsin just might stink. I don't know.
This next game was another shit show of a game.
This game sucked.
This game
pissed me off.
Honestly, my prediction on let's just get to it. Iowa State heads to Iowa City, beats Iowa 10-7. My prediction on more punts than points was almost correct. There was 12 total punts.
I could not have been more wrong about this game.
Yeah, didn't you say Iowa was going to score 40 by themselves?
Yeah,
and neither team they didn't even get to 20.
No, yeah, I was wrong. I'm man enough to admit when I was wrong. I thought after that putrid game that Iowa played against, was it South Dakota, when it was like 9?
Dakota State.
It was like 5-9 or something like that.
7-3.
It was something weird. Yeah, I don't know.
They didn't score a touchdown. That's so funny to me.
It-
You look at a football game, it's like 7-3, like, oh, they scored a touchdown and held them to a field goal. No, they scored, they got a field goal, then 2 fucking safeties.
yeah, that's fucking crazy. I legitimately thought
I was so bad at football. I saw a stat that said in their last 9 games, their quarterback had 1 touchdown and 9 interceptions.
no way.
Yeah, they said they showed that up in the game. He had 1 in the last 9 games. He had 1 touchdown and 9 interceptions.
I just thought after that, that's so bad. That's so bad. I legitimately was like, Iowa, they were in the Big Ten title game last year. I was like, they'll rebound. This is a rivalry game.
They were in the Big Ten title game because they got fucking lucky, and they played good defense.
Right.
They didn't score.
Yeah, they're not very good. 12 punts, 17 total points.
That was so funny.
I can't believe if there was more punts than points, I probably would have retired from this podcast.
Oh my
It would have just been the case.
Hey, look, November 12th, we have another opportunity of that. Wisconsin, Iowa. I'm predicting it. More punts than points. I can't wait. I hope there's snow. I hope they run the ball. I hope they punt the ball. I hope the final score is under 10. I hope it's 7-3.
Dude, the
or
over
6-7.
under on that game's like 18.
Oh, it might be. It might be like 35. Oh, both of these teams stink. I can't wait until that game. I am so looking forward to November 12th, 2022. Seattle off to a strong start. Holy shit.
Yeah, we got the Monday night game here. Let's ride. Broncos Nation. Let's ride. Let's ride.
This was a great game right here. Number 20 Kentucky heading down to the swamp and playing number 12 Florida. Kentucky wins 26-16. I think this was the first time they won in the swamp since the 80s.
Wow. I'm a big Kentucky football guy.
I mean,
My cousin went to Kentucky. Go Cats.
Their defense was phenomenal late in the game. Like, I think he was a D end. Don't know his name. I know his number. I think it was number 8.
We came prepared.
Shout out to him. I did come prepared. He played a phenomenal game. He was all over that defense.
Yeah, Kentucky's defense definitely won that game. Anthony Richardson is electric as he looked against Utah. I looked it up today. He has a 52.5% completion percentage through 2 games this year. That ain't gonna get it done.
Oh no, it's not. You can't do that.
Yeah, can't be that bad at passing the football. After the game, Anthony Richardson, for those who don't know, is the quarterback for Florida. He took full responsibility for the loss after the game and in the press conference or whatever. He was like, "That's on me. I got to play better."
Great
Good leadership. Yeah.
I love to hear that from a guy taking. He's not a thumb pointer. He's not a finger pointer. He's being a thumb pointer in that situation.
Oh, that was great. I've never heard that. Well, don't be a finger pointer, be a thumb pointer. I've never heard that. That's great.
I honestly learned that at UWM. Shout out.
Yeah, United Wholesale. I don't think they need it.
Wholesale. Yeah, they don't need it, but yeah, that's one of their pillars for their employees is being a thumb pointer, not a finger pointer.
I love that. I'm gonna.
Ever since I started working there, I don't work there anymore. But when I started working there before I quit, that was one thing that I incorporate into my work life into my actual life is being a thumb pointer. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, okay, yeah, it was on me. I messed up. I'm like that. That's just.
It's a good mantra.
Yeah, first thing to self-improving. I mean, if you learn your own mistakes, you can only get better from your own mistakes. If you just say, I didn't do it, someone else did it, then you're not owning up to your mistakes and just saying you fucked up pretty much.
Yeah. Next game, not much to say here. Akron heading to Michigan State. Michigan State wins 52-0. Good for State. They blew them out like they should have.
Yeah. I just brought up just because
they're a local team.
Yeah, local team.
I wish I had it written down on my notepad, which I left in my backpack. I'm not going to go grab. State's running back went off. They might have another good back. I think he had 3 tutties. State's back because they had K9 last year, Kenneth Walker the third, and everyone was like, what are they going to do? Because he was one of the best backs in the country last year. How do you replace him going forward? And it looks like they did so. So we'll keep an eye on Michigan State going forward. I don't know who they play next. They travel to Washington, right?
Yeah, they're at
that's a test
Washington.
game.
I honestly think Washington opened up at 2.5-point favorites this game.
State's gonna win. Washington stinks. It's just tough because you travel to a different time zone.
You're heading out west, and your team get used to
Yeah.
the time change
It's
and all
also
that.
like whenever you have two cupcake opponents to start the year and you go and play it like a real test.
Well, it was like when they had it down. It was I think 2014, 2015, back when Michigan State was like kind of really good at football. They
It's
headed
the
over.
what Connor Cook era.
Yeah, something like that. Oh yeah, it was around that time frame. They headed down out to Oregon one year, and they couldn't adjust to that. I feel like that time zone. They came out flat, ended up losing that game. I felt like because they could have easily won that game in my opinion, but
Yeah. So a little bit more to talk about here for Hawaii going to Michigan. Why didn't you put Michigan's ranking? Because they're both not ranked.
no, Michigan's number 4. I didn't do the same thing for Michigan State. Michigan State's what I think was 14 last
I
week.
said I thought they were 14. So Michigan wins handily 56-10.
Oh, I just want to say one thing.
No, we're not
Is
doing
Vanderbilt
this.
better than Michigan?
No.
Vanderbilt put up 60. They won 63-10 on the island. Michigan can only put up
They
56
could
at
have
home
scored
against them.
80 in that game if they
So I
wanted
mean,
to.
I think hot take. Vanderbilt's better than
No, I
Michigan.
think Vanderbilt probably played their starters the entire game because they wanted to score 63. Michigan could have put up 100 if they wanted to. Stop that. You're fucking trolling right now. Michigan has their quarterback.
SEC's king. I'm totally joking. SEC is not king.
Uh,
No, yeah. I
Michigan's
mean,
got their quarterback.
Michigan named JJ their starting quarterback going forward. I think that's a great move. He played a great game. He went
Their
11.
offense just looks different with him in it. I saw
Cut
all
me
over
off.
Twitter.
Just cut me off.
It's Michigan talk. I
I
wasn't
just
sure how long you could go complimenting them without dying. Turning
I mean,
red.
it was hurting. I was trying to get this
Just
last
just
little
trying to
bit,
help you out,
just
dude.
trying to get this last little bit of information out.
Go
Then you
ahead.
just straight up cut me off. But
Go for it.
no, dude, just say whatever you had to say. It's obviously more important than my thing. 'Cause I'm
Out.
not a Michigan fan, obviously.
Yeah.
Just go ahead, and just interrupt me like you usually do.
Jesus Christ, dude. Uh, JJ, 11 of 12, 229 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Obviously, like we said after the game, Harbaugh named him the starter going forward. I think that's the right move. I feel bad for Cade. I really do.
Didn't you say he got booed by fans?
Yeah, Cade. So, but that's unacceptable.
I mean, he won you a Big Ten
Yeah.
championship title. What are you doing?
Yeah, and it's already hard enough on the kid. I didn't love hearing that. I read that after the game that apparently he came in at one point and the fans were cheering. We want. I think the guy's name OG is a freshman, a backup quarterback, and they were cheering. We want him instead of Cade, and then he threw a pick, and I guess they just let him have it. Um, it's tough.
I mean, your team's kicking the shit out of whatever team they're playing.
Yeah.
Why are you booing your
I
own?
think it was just exciting for the fans to be like to finally see JJ get
No,
and
it's nice. It's nice knowing you have your starting quarterback, and like he came out and he ran fluidly against that team. But it's Cade won you a Big Ten championship. He played decent, I would say, in 2020 with you as your starting quarterback. Give the guy a break. I mean, I get JJ's name the guy now, but just give the guy a break. It's not like he came in and lost the game or he's intentionally trying to like throw it to the other team. But
right,
like,
yeah.
come on now.
I will
Do
say from a lot of the Michigan football accounts that I follow, and some of the people that are much older than I am that have been watching Michigan football for forever, they were like, we have some of the throws JJ was making. Granted, I know it's against Hawaii, but I haven't seen a Michigan quarterback do that. It does feel like he brings a different level of like he's just way more dynamic than Cade. He can do it with his
Well,
legs,
I
he
was
can do
gonna
it with
say
his
you don't know
arms.
what's gonna happen with the guy.
Yeah. So that was good. I'm excited to watch JJ going forward. Hopefully, Cade is able to rally and still bring a lot of leadership to that team. That's what he's known for, is being a great leader. I know this is going to be challenging for him. He's probably going to enter the portal next year and be gone.
Who?
But
Cade.
Cade, yeah,
Oh,
not JJ. I'm talking about Cade, and hopefully he lands on his feet somewhere. I always appreciate what he did for Michigan football. First Big Ten title in my in a long time, beating Ohio State for the first time in over a decade. Um, so we'll see what happens with that going forward. Moving
well,
on.
it'll be funny.
What?
But
Don't say it.
no, I'm not gonna say what you think I'm gonna say. Well, partially. What if Cade goes to like another Big Ten team and then he torches
That's what.
Michigan next year?
I thought you were gonna say he goes to like
I was gonna
Michigan
say Michigan
State.
State, but like I doubt they'll do that. But
Um,
like, what if he went to like a Wisconsin and comes back and plays Michigan? I don't know if Wisconsin plays Michigan next
I
year.
know what you mean
Like
though.
they did, and then he just absolutely
Revenge tour.
revenge tour, and he just torched them. Just
That would be
went
ironic.
20 for 20, 300 yards, 4
And that
tutties.
game somehow sends the team he's playing on to the Big Ten championship. You know
Like
what
that
I
was the
mean?
Big Ten championship was against Michigan, and he beat you in the Big Ten championship, and now he has 2, and you guys have whatever the hell you guys
Yeah,
have.
that would
That would
be
be so
ironic.
funny.
Yeah, that'd be ironic. I don't know. I don't know. He's from like the Montana, Wyoming area. I'm pretty sure.
Hell's up
Maybe
there.
Nevada. He might. I'm just saying, like for proximity, like he might want to go closer to home where he plays. But I think he'll go wherever he's going to get a chance to start and play. So, um, Baylor going number 9. Baylor going to number 21. BYU. BYU wins 26-20 in double overtime. This was a late game.
This was a really
I fell
late
asleep
game.
during this game.
I was like up and down during it. I really don't remember much of it. I mean, a lot of football, a lot of stuff. This was a 10 o'clock game. Usually, a 10 o'clock game, my brain is just mushed.
I mean, you've been watching football for 12 hours already, almost.
Yeah, so
10 hours.
it was one of those. I mean, it was a good game. I think overtime. I don't think they scored the first overtime, and then BYU scored a touchdown to obviously win it. They don't kick the extra point because the game was over.
Yeah, because I
at that
think they
point.
stopped Baylor and then they scored, and it's over.
Yep.
I don't. Dave Aranda or Arnada, that's Baylor's coach. He's done a great job rebuilding that program up after all the scandalous stuff that came with before his time there with a lot of sexual harassment allegations and whatnot. Um, I've always kind of liked Baylor, even though like until I was I think 18, I thought they were in California.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't know. I always thought they were in California because I would watch the College World Series a lot growing up, and they would be in it. And I'm like, dude, California's got some good teams. My dad's like, what are you talking about? I was like, Baylor. He's like, that's Texas, dude. I was like, no, it's not. He's like, okay, whatever you think. And I looked it up, dumbass. Yeah, so I don't know. It's hard to take much away from this game just because again, it's like a night game at BYU.
I mean, BYU, a night game, maybe BYU is a tough place to play.
Yeah,
I love BYU football. I have no idea why. I love betting them. I think in my entire life, I am definitely plus money with them.
you bet them a lot last year.
No, that was technically I bet them a lot when it was illegal.
No, we are upstanding citizens here. We've never broken the law once in our life.
Bovada, I love that website. Shout out.
Not much more to say about that. I think it's just two good teams that duked it out. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So let's get into the college football top 10. How are we doing this segment, Case?
So college football just came out and just gave their top 10. I was just thinking we just give our opinions on it. I mean, I don't agree.
Oh, let's
Really
talk,
agree
let's
with
get
it.
into it then. So I'll run. You want to run through what the rankings are?
So Georgia 1, Bama 2, Ohio State 3, Michigan 4, Clemson
Oh, boy.
5, Oklahoma 6, USC 7, Oklahoma State 8, Kentucky 9, Arkansas 10. Some notable ones: Michigan State moved up to 11. Texas is now 21, and they were not ranked last week. Notre Dame drops. They were 8, and they dropped out of the top 25.
As they should.
As they should have, because they lost to a horrible team. They were, I think, almost 3 touchdown favorites.
I
and they
asked
lost.
you that because we didn't even consider betting that game or really looking at it just because there wasn't
There
a lot
was
of juice there. But
nothing.
I think you said because I thought it was like 19 or
It was something like that, 19 or 20, something like that. And then Texas A&M drops to 18 spots and drops to 24. I thought they should have. I mean, I get Appalachian State's a good team, but you lost at home. You should have. No. You didn't look that great the week before. They should have dropped out of the top 25.
Yeah,
This is the SEC bullshit love that college football gives to them.
if A&M wins out, they probably still get in though, right? And have an SEC title
I mean, they're then at that point they're a one-loss team, and then they have to beat Bama.
or Georgia, right?
I think they're on the side with Bama.
Okay, all
I
right.
think.
Yeah, I'm talking about like an SEC title game.
Okay, well, regardless, you're playing both Bama and Georgia at that point.
So that they
Because you
would
play
get in.
one in the regular season, and then
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Um, I I don't have much issue. Georgia, Bama, 1-2, that's fine. Don't love Ohio State being ahead of Michigan just because one.
I mean, they were ranked third before the season
I,
even
I
started.
know, I know. I'm just saying like that tight game against Notre Dame, Michigan's blowing out every opponent. I mean, I don't really have an issue with it.
Michigan's blown out every opponent as they should. They didn't play anybody.
Well, dude, you know,
They didn't even cover. Whoa, 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 whoa. They didn't even cover against Hawaii. They were 52-point favorites and didn't cover.
they just took the foot
The
off the.
easy way out.
No, they just took the foot off the gas a little bit. They didn't want to embarrass Hawaii. He's a Hawaii a Mich the Hawaii AD is a Michigan alumni. So they don't want to put it to him like that.
Dude.
Oh, here we go. Is this Texas
This
A&M?
is Texas A&M's next couple games. Holy shit. I mean, they're home against Miami. Miami's not a slouch.
No, Miami's playing well this year.
Home against Arkansas.
Not a slouch.
Not that much of a slouch.
They're ranked 10th.
At Mississippi State. They should win that game.
Yeah.
At Bama.
L.
At South Carolina. Home against Ole Miss. Home against Florida. At Auburn. See, this is why I hate the SEC. Home against UMass.
Yes, they always do that in like week. I hate when they do that.
And then home against LSU.
Michigan will be playing like Penn State, and Alabama's playing like Kettering University.
I think they only play 8 conference games while the Big Ten plays
9.
Yeah.
Who do you have the most issue with here in the top 10?
See, I don't think Oklahoma State's 8.
I'm pretty surprised Kentucky isn't 8 over them.
Yeah, I mean Kentucky.
They went to the swamp, beat them. Oklahoma State almost lost to CMU.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really not much.
I gotta vent for a second. CMU playing South Alabama at home at Kelly Schwartz Stadium, and they get dog walked as a favorite. That's bullshit. Figure it out, Jim McElwain, shark fucker.
I was gonna say,
motherfucker. That shit. I wish I wouldn't have remembered that. I just got so pissed all over again. God damn. I don't have much issue other than I think Kentucky should be higher than Okie State.
I agree with that.
I love the idea of Oklahoma USC being 6-7. I don't know if they both of them can play their way in.
I love that they have Oklahoma higher than USC.
Yeah, it's kind of like a fuck you to Lincoln Riley. Yeah, it's like sorry, dude. I love that Oklahoma's still playing well because he literally took their quarterback with him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, he was like, "Hey, Williams, come with me."
You can stand my $1 million house, my $10 million house that I just bought.
I would love for it to work out to where Oklahoma USC plays in like a New Year's Six bowl against each other.
Dude, I could see that happening.
I
could see the committee both teams being, we'll say 9-4, 10-2, or they're around the same thing.
Yeah.
Yo,
this is a good idea.
This is a great. I mean, it is.
Yeah. Oh, but we're talking about it, and it's not even close to happening. Imagine if it happened, we'd be like, I gotta watch that.
Oh, I mean, Oklahoma's gonna come out pissed off because it's no, we're the better school. You left us, and then we beat you in a New Year's Six game. We get Caleb Williams didn't play because he's going pro. Is he allowed to go pro? Or he has to wait 1 more year?
I think 1 more year. I think. I don't. It's hard to keep track nowadays with all the redshirt stuff. He could technically be a redshirt sophomore, so he would be allowed to go.
Yeah, because it's 3 years in college.
3 years. Yeah. I don't know. Based on my Madden rosters, he's never one of the quarterbacks when I import a draft class. So I don't.
He's just not there. Probably in 20 whatever.
Yeah,
whatever year it is.
But yeah, other than that, I don't have much issue with it. Michigan State moving up to 11's huge for them. If they went out, they're going to control their own destiny this year.
Think about it. The teams that dropped, Notre Dame and Texas A&M, both of them dropped. So Michigan State's 14. That already moves them up to 12. And then I don't know what other team dropped that was up there.
Yeah. I mean, State controls their own destiny, man. If they went out, they'll have a chance at a Big Ten title from Mel Tucker. We'll see.
Well, yeah.
I cannot wait for Michigan State, Michigan.
They would be undefeated, so yeah, they would be competing for a Big Ten title.
Yeah, we're agreeing. Are you saying stated the obvious?
Yeah, because they're 2-0. You're acting like they lost a game. You're acting like they lost their first game of the year, and it's like
Yeah,
now they have to win the rest of the season to have a shot at the Big Ten.
barely beat Western.
They covered.
Barely beat them.
They covered.
Barely.
The spread was 22. They won by more than 22. Michigan can't cover against Hawaii.
They could if they wanted.
Michigan can't cover against Hawaii.
It could have if they
Michigan
wanted.
couldn't cover against Hawaii.
I just told you the AD of Hawaii is a alumni of Michigan. They're not going to run it up against those schools.
I mean, Vanderbilt's better in Hawaii, but
Whatever.
moving on.
Vanderbilt is better than Hawaii. That's why they beat them.
Vanderbilt's better than Michigan.
Got your
Vanderbilt's better
ass.
than Michigan. Let's just move on to our fantasy football week 1.
Let's do it.
I have to pull this up on my
Yeah,
phone.
I'm gonna pull mine up right now
because I know a couple of my games are impacted by this Monday night game. I have a couple of them that I just got dog walked. So one of my leagues, I'm in a league with one of my best friends growing up, his dad, his little brother and their dad, and a bunch of my buddies, people that live in Texas. I got dog walked in that game. I lost by I think 30.
Who didn't perform well for you?
Kamara. He got 7.6 points. My tight ends combined, I think got 1.7 points. That's both my tight ends, my starting one and the one on my bench. So that's great. Allen Robinson got me 2.2. I mean, the reason why I got it was not by probably 100 is Devontae Adams scoring 30. Other than that, my team was just really mediocre. Another one of my leagues, I'm gonna get into my 2 ESPN leagues. Then we'll switch over to you, and then I'm gonna switch back to my other app. In my other league, it looks like that one we're 81% chance of winning. I have Russell Wilson still to go. I'm down. Russell Wilson. Yep, just Russell Wilson. I'm projected to win 139. Wait, I should have more than just Russell Wilson. Oh, Russell Wilson and Javonte Williams. I have both of them going tonight. I'm down 125.5.
Not looking good so far.
Hey, I'm projected to win still.
Good.
Projected to win still. Fuck it, I'll just do my other 2 real fast. So my other 2 leagues, they're both Yahoo ones. 88% chance to winning against my buddy Dylan. Hey, Dylan, there's a middle finger for you. Fuck you. Gonna beat you.
We love you, Dylan.
In my other league, this one is coming down to the Monday night game. This one is my closest one. It's not looking good. I dropped to 40% chance to winning. It was like almost a 50-50 one yesterday. I have Sutton and the Broncos kicker. My buddy I'm playing has Javonte Williams. So I say I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win.
I'm gonna need a second here because fuck you, Logan Seal. You try to talk shit. You try to tweet at me saying my team's ass, treating out my draft grade. Oh, you got a C? What's this say? Colorado Kool-Aid, that's your boy. 115.52 to seal the deal, 76.50. Dog walked your ass week 1. I don't want to hear any more shit about my fantasy team from you, bitch.
Tell me how you really feel.
I tweeted at him a picture of me kicking his ass. I was like, you fucking saying something. You were saying something. I was so jacked up.
So, how do you feel about your teams after week 1?
Well,
up in the air still. I mean, so my teams, I'm like, you're sheer shit. I might not win a game. A couple, I don't know. I'm not. This is the first year where I don't have a single team that I just love.
Yeah, I mean, my league, we previewed our fantasy teams. Everyone knows that I was playing my dad.
How'd that go?
It's a sad day. It's a bad day. My dad's gonna beat me this week, it looks like. He's 97% chance to win. He's already been talking shit, running his mouth. At one point, he was up like 62 points, and he's like, forget to set your lineup or something? I was like, no. He's like, can't tell. I was like, oh, great. Thanks for that. And then another league that I'm in, this one's going to come down to tonight because I got Wilson and Cortland Sutton going. That's like it's pretty much a 50-50 right now. Let's see what happens. So, yeah, how do I feel about the teams? It's tough, because like there's some like my one team, feels really good. And my dad beat me. The other team, I was like, I'm not so sure about, and I ended up winning. It's such a crapshoot. Kamara screwed me as well. Allen Robinson screwed me as well. But we're just gonna take it one step at a time. No injury bug has bit me yet. So hopefully, that comes out to a lot of it's just luck. So we'll keep you guys posted, especially when we're. Is that knocking on wood for your injury bug?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just wanted to
Did
let
you
know.
maybe one more knock? There you go. I love it.
So you guys can hear it.
What any guys go off for you that are on your bench that you didn't play?
No, my bench sucks in all my leagues.
Yeah, I didn't have
I mean, wait.
is there someone you should have played that would have made a
Not in
difference?
my yacht. Oh no. I don't
None
think
that would have
so.
mattered.
Nothing. Let me look at this one. Like I don't think so. Yeah, no. I mean, I had Devontae Smith. Like he got zero. He did. I don't think he got a single catch.
I will tell you this. My fears were realized with Dameon Pierce. After they cut Marlon Mack, Dameon Pierce, the rookie running back for the Texans coming out of Florida, it was all the rumors were that he's going to get a majority of the snap share there. And I reached for him. I took him. He finished with 4.8 points in this league, 4.4 points, 11 rush attempts, 33 yards, one target. Rex Burkhead got majority of snap share there, it looks like. So I should have played him or shouldn't have played him. But we did look this up. Montrell Hilliard.
Hillard, I think.
I think what you saw this on ESPN.
ESPN. He's in 4.2% of leagues. He got 21.5 points. I mean, a lot of it was because of the two tutties.
Yeah, so I wonder
We
if he's
look-
their goal line back or something.
I saw something. It was on TikTok. I saw a video. He was on 80% of their third down snaps
It's huge.
yesterday.
So he's the third down
He's
back.
their third down back and all that. So
So if you're listening and want to pick someone up, I mean,
he might be there. I mean, I heard he's possibly their RB2.
yeah. And if he's going to do third down, then he's going to get a lot of goal line carries. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know if it's that. I think it's more of like third and 10.
Oh, he can receive it.
We need a back that we can just dump it off to if we need to.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that was cool to look that up.
His two tutties were receiving touchdowns. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yes.
that makes sense. Yeah. So we'll keep you guys posted on our fantasy. It's week 1. Up and down. I'm either going to go 1-2 or 2-1. It's going to come down to tonight. So, and you'll be 500, right?
Yeah, definitely one win in one league. I'm either going to be 2-2 or I mean I have a chance. I have a chance to go 1-3. I have a chance to go 3-1. I have a chance to go 2-2.
So it's all coming down to Monday
It's
night.
all coming down to Monday night. Russell Wilson needs to get his shit together first quarter, and they are down to the Seattle Seahawks. What is going on, Denver? What is going on?
It's so funny too. Like, how did they end up playing Monday night week 1 right after Russ gets traded? Like, they have to do that on purpose, right?
Well, it's one of those that this game was probably already scheduled on the thing. Broncos were playing Seattle, and then they just once the trade happened, they flexed that game to the Monday night.
That could have happened just because it is a good storyline.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
great storyline. First game back in Seattle. I mean, it's one of those. When's the next time he's going to be back in Seattle? These guys don't play each other every year. They're in two opposite conferences.
Yeah.
One's in the AFC, one's in the NFC.
Right. All right. Well, we want to get to our NFL Week 1 recap. Cue the music. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, let's get to the local game for us here. Eagles at Lions. Eagles win 38-35. Tough game to watch.
Yeah.
Tough game to watch.
Lions had them dead in the water, or not. I mean, at the end of the game, they
had a chance at the end, but they were really never in it. They were down 17 in the third.
Well, yeah, I mean they were down, and it was one of those. It was 3rd and 3, I think it was, or 3rd and 2, and they had the running back stop behind the line of scrimmage, and then next thing you know, he just took a step back, ran to the left, went 40 yards down the field, first down, game over. Lions defense is horrible.
I think the Lions is clear. They're clearly better than last year. It's definitely a different team. I think even Jalen Hurts said that in the presser.
Said that at the end of the game that this was definitely not the same Lion team they played last year. So that definitely makes me feel a
but
little better.
the defense is still horrible. Their linebacker play is still god awful. And I mean, they're going to be a scrappy team. I would bet the over in all the games this year because they're going to give up a shit ton of points and they're constantly going to be
I mean,
chasing.
unless the over-under's in the 60s, then don't do it because that's not going to happen in the NFL.
No.
But if it's sitting in the 40s, maybe low 50s, I'm betting it every time because the Lions, it's going to score.
They're constantly going to be playing from behind. Some overreaction on the timelines today about Aiden Hutchinson's performance. I know as a rusher, edge rusher, he was graded 124th out of 125 in his position by PFF after week 1. He was better in against the run, and I think he was like 85th overall combined or 45th overall combined, something like that. I think it's a little bit of an overreaction. I watched that game. It looked like he was constantly in their backfield, and yes, you do have to finish, but it didn't look like he was overmatched or anything out there. So I think that's a slight overreaction by the local media here. A little.
Game 1, I'm not gonna give my full reaction until we get later on, just because, yeah, he played great in preseason, but that's preseason.
Yeah.
So I saw a clip earlier when I was scrolling through social media, and honestly, I think this is a great question. What's more important for you as a Lions fan? A top 10 pick or them just missing the playoffs? Like
Top
just
10
missing
pick.
just missing the wild card.
Top 10 pick. Another bad season for the Lions is nothing. I can handle it. That's been my entire life. Hold on, Tuck. If they can secure another top pick, that'd be huge. Especially the Rams don't look all that this year. You have 2 picks in the top 20. That'd be pretty good.
See, I want to say that, but I
So you want the ride, even if they don't make it. The ride of the chance.
ride. I want the chance. That just shows to me that your team is there.
You took the right
there.
steps forward.
You took enough steps forward to make your team a playoff contending team.
Yeah, it would be encouraging, especially just them being how bad they were last year. If they came out and took incremental, big steps forward, not incremental steps, but bigger steps forward, I think it'd be encouraging as a fan. When I put my GM hat on, them getting another top 10 pick. And let me put it this way. If they can get another top 10 pick, they're taking a quarterback, would be my guess. Because if they play that poorly, then Goff's not the guy.
I would say it depends on when the top. I mean, it depends. I mean,
they're gonna have 2 first-round picks next year anyway, so
how
they
many
can package.
guys? I mean, I'm saying how many QBs are going top 10 next year, and when are they going to actually go?
Yeah, I mean, it's too early to say.
Okay, if you're saying, okay, you're at 9. Okay, well, you might have 2 teams that go C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, or vice versa.
Yeah.
And then, okay, is Will Levis a top 10 quarterback? Is the guy from Florida a top? Is there another quarterback that's good enough to be a top 10 pick?
Yeah, it's tough to say because I remember at the beginning of last year's season, everyone was like, Sam Howell's going to be the first overall pick. And then how'd that work out? He went in the 3rd or 4th round.
I mean, I knew he got that hype at the beginning of the season. He had a horrible senior season.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll keep our eyes on it. I do think the Lions will be competitive going forward. They do. This is like one of their 5th hardest opponents, and they already got that one out of the way. The schedule does ease up, especially in the second half.
I think they got.
I had them losing this game. I'm glad that they were competitive in the 4th quarter, but it was just one of those just too little, too late.
This next game there's not really much to talk about. The Saints heading to Atlanta, playing the Falcons. Saints win late, 27-26. I think it was a game-winning field goal by them.
Will Lutz, yeah, game-winning field goal.
Saints, I think the Falcons were up 26-10 with
Jameis led a comeback. Jameis led a little comeback.
Go 4th quarter comeback. I mean, I love Jameis. I think he is a great quarterback. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking eating W's, stealing crab legs and shit.
What didn't he get in trouble for standing up in the Florida State Library and yelling "fucker" right in the pussy?
Yeah, he got suspended for
like a half
a game, and I'm pretty sure he tried to suit up, and just think Jimbo Fisher forgot, and Jimbo Fisher was like, "Hey, idiot,
out.
You're not. Take off those shoulder pads and take your helmet. back to the locker room. You ain't playing, buddy.
Yeah, I remember that. He was definitely a knucklehead. I'm rooting for Jameis. I like the Saints. It was a better game. I think the Falcons played a lot better than people gave them credit. Like they didn't think the Falcons were going to play that well. Mariota looked okay. It'll be interesting to see. I saw that before week 1, the Falcons were plus 3,200 odds to win the division. So long odds there. But we'll see. We'll keep an eye on those.
Why'd you bring that up? You think they're going to win the division?
I think that division could be won with like nine
Okay,
nine
what
games.
is that? That's what? Saints, Falcons, Panthers.
This is NFC, right? So Bucks.
If it's the Bucks, Bucks are easily going to win that fucking division.
Yeah, I think it's Bucks, Saints, Falcons, and Panthers. NFC South.
No. Wait. Yep.
Yeah.
New
Bucks.
Orleans. Yep. Bucks, Saints, Falcons, Carolina. Bucks are easily winning that division.
Yeah, I think nine or 10 games will win it probably this year.
No, more than that.
Next game, 49ers at Bears.
I so wish I was able to watch this game.
It looked like they were having a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I don't know, for you guys that haven't seen, it was a torrential downpour in Chicago. The field was completely flooded. It reminded me of like back when we were kids, Casey, playing out in the rain in your backyard, and it's just like you're slipping and sliding, and it was insane.
Bears ended up winning 19-10. Yeah. I mean, so did you see the picture of how the sideline was marked?
Yeah.
It looked like a 5-year-old did it.
Yeah, I know. It's like because they took like a squeegee down and looked like a drunk guy stumbling home from the bar.
Another fun thing about this game is the Bears got penalized for bringing a towel onto the field to dry off a spot on the field so they can kick a ball.
Yep. Yeah, it's a violation.
It's a personal foul.
I've never heard that.
Neither have I. When I saw that video come out on Twitter, I laughed my ass off.
Yeah, that seems like it doesn't really make sense to me because both teams have the opportunity to do it. So I don't know why. I mean, I guess it's like, you can't alter field conditions, I guess. I don't know. It was the video that surfaced afterwards of all the Bears players sliding into the end zone.
That was phenomenal.
It literally looked like they were at a water park.
Yeah.
It was.
They were just on a slip and slide.
Yeah, that was insane. I don't expect the Bears to win much going forward. This was Trey Lance's first game as a 49er. Definitely some learning curves there and some bumps and stuff they're gonna have to figure out.
I think Kittle played. I think
Kittle's hurt.
Yeah, Kittle was out for this game, so that definitely impacts.
We'll see. I expect the 49ers to play much better football later in the year when they kind of figure some stuff out. I still think the Bears are horrible, but hey, Fields played better than they thought he was going to. You want to talk about the next one? You can start this one off.
This was a pretty good game. Steelers heading to Cincinnati and beating the Bengals 23-20 in OT. This game, the ending of this game was phenomenal. Jamar Chase scores a touchdown with a couple seconds left. Extra point gets blocked, tipped pretty much.
Yeah.
And then into the fourth quarter, it goes down to the very second. I honestly thought this game was going to end in a tie. Chris Boswell hits a 53-yarder to end it in overtime.
Yep. Burrow looked horrible, 33 of 55.
Ridiculous.
Two touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Didn't look great. I don't want to read too much into that because it is week 1. Zach Taylor, Joe Burrow, the boys over there will get it figured out. Pittsburgh always plays Cincy tough. That's a division game. I don't think Pittsburgh is. A lot of people focused on the quarterback situation in Pittsburgh, forgetting that they still got some dogs there, got some guys on that defense that can play, and it's always going to be whenever the Steelers and Bengals play up. I mean, it's going to be a tough
it's always
game.
going to be a good game. This is definitely a rivalry game. These games are always close, always going down to the wire. Another story about this game is T.J. Watt tore his pec.
Yeah, it sounds like he could be out for the year.
Is it?
Yeah, at least not till the end of the season when they're like hopefully making a playoff push. I feel bad. T.J. Watt, by all accounts, both Watt brothers are great dudes.
It's 3 Watt brothers.
Yep, it's T.J., J.J., and
DJ.
Yeah, he's a fullback, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
And
They're
I think he's on the Steelers too.
Yeah, I know that at one point they played together.
Yep.
So if he's still there, then yes. By all accounts, just seems like a great family in some total. I read all the time, like when Houston had that flood, JJ had like the JJ. He donated like a shit ton of money.
Oh, phenomenal family.
Yeah. So I feel bad for him, and it does seem like for his athletic specimens that these boys are, they're like made of glass, man. JJ can't stay on the field. TJ can't stay on the field. That sucks. I feel bad for him. Wish him a speedy recovery. I mean, he's a defensive player of the year candidate. He's one of the best players in football. So it's just more exciting when he's able to suit up and play. It is funny not to go back to the fantasy thing real quick, but it's like Logan could hear me talking shit about him. He just texted me. I hope you're ready for Courtland Sutton to put up 40 points tonight. Yikes. Moving on. Patriots at Dolphins. Just traditionally growing up, whenever the Pats head to Miami, it seems like Miami wins.
Yeah.
Like they just play the Patriots hard. Dolphins win 27. Mike McDaniel gets his first win as a head coach. Kudos to you. Clap, 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 clap. Round of applause. Good for the Dolphins. And Tyreek Hill had some fun.
Oh, we're done.
Yeah. Tyreek. Are you fucking good? Tyreek Hill had some comments about Coach McDaniel after the
Oh
game.
my God! So second quarter, I was gonna say Florida. Miami's driving the ball down the field, getting into New England territory. It's like the 30. It's like about the 40-yard line, maybe like the 37, 38. So it would have been a really long field goal, or you can pin the Pats deep. It's 4th and 7. McDaniel decides to go for it and pass the ball.
Yeah.
Tua throws a ball, perfect ball right over the middle to Waddle. Waddle takes it. I think it was 41 yards. I think it was 41 yards to the house to go up. I think it was 17-0 at that point. That was a huge point in the game. Tyreek Hill's comments at the end were McDaniel's gonna need a wheelbarrow for his nuts to carry them around. He got a lot of cojones on him.
I love that.
I love that
He
comment.
basically just told his coach, "You got big balls," and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love how ballsy you are.
That's a pretty big like thing to do too. You're playing Belichick, who, I think just in the NFL and coaching in general is regarded as one of the goats of coaching of all time. And to go in there and be like, "Yeah, I don't really give a fuck. We're gonna go for it on 4th and 7 and convert." That just shows you have a lot of
I don't think
confidence.
the Pats are that good.
No, I mean Matt Patricia's calling plays over there. They're going to be horrible. It's like doesn't make any sense. But it does show that he has a lot of confidence in his offense to do that. It definitely probably gives Tua in that offense confidence to be like he believes in us, so I believe in us. Keep an eye on the Dolphins this year going forward. Who knows? They could make the wild card. You don't think so?
Did you not see that pass that Tua did at the beginning of the game?
It was horrible. Yeah.
He threw it literally,
Tyreek was wide open and it like skipped on the ground.
skipped on the ground, wasn't even
It
close
was
to
probably
anyone.
15 yards short.
Yeah, and he did. Yeah,
Not good. Not good. We'll keep an eye on them though. You never know. They won. Just Ravens at Jets. The Jets are, as always, a dumpster fire. Ravens win 24-9. Lamar plays a lot better in the second half, and this is a contract year for Lamar Jackson.
yeah. Didn't you say he turned down an offer that the Ravens gave him?
Yeah, I read it was $250 million extension to 2027. $133 million of it fully guaranteed, and he wants it all guaranteed. So
I mean, I get turning down the 133 million guaranteed. At least 200 guaranteed. At
Yeah.
least.
I mean, that's the way contracts seem to be going in the NFL going forward, especially at the quarterback position. Everyone's going to want the same contract model as Deshaun Watson, where he got it fully guaranteed. That's just tough for a team to do. I mean, he could get that, and like literally, if his leg falls off, they still have to pay him. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of risk. We'll see what happens. I definitely think the Ravens want to get him back. He's an MVP. I know there are some people that are high on Lamar. There are some that aren't. I kind of fall in the middle. I think he's electric, and I think that in the right offense, he can get it done. Just be interesting to watch that going forward, and see if it becomes a distraction for the team or not. So, Jets dumpster fire. Although Zach, I fuck moms Wilson is not playing. I think he comes back like week 4.
I mean, I don't think he's much better, and Joe Flacco.
I think he's going to be significantly better.
Okay.
I think Wilson's going to surprise some people this year. Jaguars at Commanders. Commanders win 28-22.
There's really not much to say about that. Both these teams suck. They both will have most likely both top 10 picks this year. So Jaguars win 28-22.
The only note that's worth noting is Johan Dotson, the rookie wide receiver for the Commanders, is the only rookie to catch a touchdown pass in Week 1, and he caught 2 of them. So keep an eye on that. He might be a stud.
Yeah, he might be a stud out there. This next game, I mean, I see some of these games I wish I was able to watch, but
well, it's tough.
it's tough. Browns play the Panthers. Browns ended up winning 26-24.
Yeah, I was pulling for the Panthers here just because I'm a big Baker guy.
I wanted Baker to get back at the Browns for
Yeah,
what they did to him.
I wanted him to whip his. I wanted him to put his nuts in a wheelbarrow and walk around that field.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it was a good game. Came down to the wire. I thought it was pretty cool that in the press conference afterwards, Jacoby Brissett got emotional just when he was talking about how thankful he was for an opportunity to start and play in the NFL. Could tell it means a lot to a guy like that that's kind of been a grinder, a journeyman.
I've always been a Jacoby Brissett guy. I mean,
NC State.
he's a backup quarterback that just gets random shots here and there when the starting quarterback gets injured or, in his case right now, suspended. And I mean, he's a decent quarterback. I mean, he's a 500 quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, he was with the Colts one year and he was off to a great start. Then he got hurt, and by all accounts, I mean, I think they were undefeated when he was playing, and then I think he had like a season-ending injury. Jacoby Brissett seems like a good guy. I hope at the end, however it shakes out with Deshaun, Jacoby gets a happy ending. See what I did there?
That was a good one. That was a really good one. This next game was a joke of a game. I mean, I didn't watch any of it. But
this game pissed me off.
Looking at it, just looking at the score, the Colts heading down to Texas and tying, not winning, not losing, but tying the Houston Texans 20-20.
I love the Colts -7 in this game. I hammered it. They were one of my picks, and we'll get in more of that on Thursday's episode. But I will tell you, I don't know if this just means the Colts aren't as good as I thought, or if it means that the Texans are better than I thought, or if it's just a general Week 1 overreaction. Still got some stuff to work out, for the Colts. I think the Colts are going to be fine. I really do. Matt Ryan's a pro. I think he'll get it figured out. Davis Mills just might be a gamer down there.
Davis Mills is a good quarterback. I mean, the NFL, it's always tough. You never know what's going to happen. Any team can be any team any given day.
Right.
So it's just one of those things that, I mean, it was a good game. Everyone thought the Colts were going to win, but no one thought this was going to happen.
I am a Lovie Smith guy. And
is he the coach down there now?
Yeah.
Moving on. New York Football Giants heading down to Tennessee. And
this was hype.
The Tennessee Titans, 21-20. What? I think the Titans, was it a game-winning field goal they tried at the end?
No, it's 2-point conversion.
It was 2-point conversion.
Yeah, they went for 2. Yeah, they went for 2 and got it.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Saquon Barkley is back. I think it was 18 carries, 164 yards. Went bonkers. And Brian Dable, the new coach there, just seems to really vibe with that team. I saw a great clip afterwards. After they won, they were in the locker room and he was dancing with his players,
I saw that.
rapping along to song. It just looked like they're having fun over there. Not asking Daniel Jones to do too much. Let Saquon be Saquon when he's healthy and feed him the rock. The play call that they scored 2 on at the end of the game was just more creative offensive play than I've seen the Giants, execute in the last couple of years. Kind of looked like some Kansas City Chiefs stuff going on with a motion and then a pitch inside. It was a good game. It was fun to watch. It came right, like you said, right down to the wire. I think they got the 2 as time was expiring. So that was cool. Are you back on the Giants wagon now?
No,
because you used to be a Giants guy.
I was more of an Eli guy than a Giants guy, so that's just what I'm going to say.
All right.
I was an Eli Manning fan, so I liked the Giants at that point. They won 2 Super Bowls with Eli Manning and Hall of Famer. But moving on.
He's not a Hall of Famer.
He beat the greatest quarterback of all time in 2 Super Bowls, so Hall of Famer. And it was one of them was the greatest, technically the greatest football team of all time, possibly. So Hall of Famer. Moving on. Packers heading to Minnesota and losing to the Vikings 23-7. This was a joke of a game.
Justin Jefferson's a dog.
He went off.
Oh my God, he looks so good. Maybe the best receiver in the NFL.
I think he had more yards than the entire Packers team.
That's very possible.
I mean, the one thing that I found really funny was at the beginning of the game, Aaron Rodgers had an easy touchdown.
Christian
and his
Watson.
receiver dropped it.
Rookie Christian Watson. Yep.
Can't be doing that.
No, I hate to ever say I feel bad for any of these millionaires. Aaron Rodgers definitely looked frustrated. It's bad when A.J. Dillon, who's typically like a power back, is lining up out wide for you because he's the only dependable guy you have.
He's the only guy you trust.
Yeah, and that's tough. I do think with games and with reps, some of these receivers will get it dialed in. But it looks like it's the learning curve is steep for these guys in Green Bay right now, and they better figure it out because that team's built to win and built to win now, and Aaron Rodgers don't got time for that.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I mean, their receiving core is piss poor.
He's just young, man. But yeah, that drop was horrible.
That was really bad. I mean,
Chiefs head to the Cardinals. Chiefs win 44-21. No Tyreek Hill, no problem. Kansas City hasn't missed a beat.
One thing that I found funny about this was still their kicker, is it Harrison Butker?
Butker, yep.
Gets hurt, and then what? Justin
Reed.
He's
a starting safety.
Back here. Wow. They're starting safety. So supposedly he played soccer in high school.
Yeah, he was a stud. Like I guess his leg was so good that he you don't have a choice. You have to play soccer. Yeah, I guess stud.
I mean, did you see the kickoff?
Yeah,
booted the ball.
Yeah, so I listened to Pat McAfee talk about this, former punter in the NFL. He said only 8 to 10 kickers in the NFL can kick a ball like that. He goes, not everyone has the leg to get it out of the end zone. He goes, that's an 80-plus yard kick.
Oh, when I saw him kick it, I was like, oh, they're gonna catch it at like the 10 or 15 and run it back a little bit.
No shot.
No, he had no shot at touching the ball. The ball went over his head.
Yeah, so I guess he was 1 for 2 on extra points. McAfee said that when he made the first one, and he said, when you don't do it a lot, you can kind of get in your head and be like, okay, so what did I do there that allowed me to do it? He said I didn't see it, but the second one, I guess it was a good strike. He just didn't. He closed his hips off. You kicked, closed his hips off, flared it right. He said it was great contact. It definitely had still juice to it. It's just incredible because for anyone out there that thinks kicking's easy, it's not. It's hard. It's tough to kick, man. Not everyone can do it.
I mean, the hardest thing is, who is that?
That's CD. No, not CD. Judy. Jerry Judy.
I needed sun.
You're gonna seriously sit here and say on this podcast kicking? Then why aren't you in the NFL doing it?
No. So what was your stupid take?
I said I think kicking's difficult.
And that's what we're talking about.
Sorry, we're getting distracted.
Sorry, I saw a touchdown. I saw a Bronco touchdown. I didn't know who exactly it was. I thought it was Sun. I wanted Sun, but hey, it helps me out because I got Wilson in one of my leagues. Mm-hmm. But back to the podcast. Sorry, guys. I mean, the hardest thing is just mainly getting it up.
Like not getting it blocked, you're saying?
Yeah, getting it up fast. I mean, you just have to make sure you get under it. I mean, and obviously the longer ones are a lot harder because you have to have it stay up. I don't know how tall the goalpost is.
Yeah.
But you have to have it up a certain height while you're still that far away.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I think it's difficult. Definitely why they're
with the rush coming at you, it's definitely harder.
Yeah, for sure. I thought that was cool. It's funny because you wonder if Justin Reed is now lobbying we don't need Butker, bro. I can do both.
Yeah, just pay me his salary.
Yeah, I want to get paid as the best safety in the league and the best kicker.
Yeah, and then you guys can do some trick plays with me.
Yeah, no shit, that would be fire. Oh my god, that'd be sweet. Also, Harrison Butker is one of the better kickers in the league, so I'm sure they'll be happy when he gets back.
Right.
What's the next game you got on here, Case?
The Las Vegas Raiders heading to LA and playing the Chargers. The Chargers win 24-19. Devontae Adams had himself a game.
Yeah, he looked like he had no problem playing with Derek Carr. It's like they were just back at Fresno State, just like that.
Yep.
I think that he started off at one point. It was like 7 of Carr's first 9 targets were all Devontae, just like staring him down. Just doesn't matter. He also embarrassed. I saw a route that Devontae ran, and I can't remember the corner's name. He's a rookie, and he is Asante Samuel Jr. He fakes like he's going inside, ends up cutting out left, and Sante's running inside. He just has no idea that Devontae's not there anymore. He like turns his golf. Devontae already has the ball caught, and it's just like, sorry, Rook. The caption was like, sorry, Rook. You're not the only corner that Devontae's done this to in his career. Devontae looks great. I'm still high on the Raiders this year. Chargers are a good team too. We'll see going forward. I mean, Herbert didn't miss a beat either.
Both your Super Bowl prediction teams lost.
Yeah.
Hey, I went 1-1 in mine.
Niners lost to the Bears. Ugh, that's not encouraging. And then, Raiders lost to the Chargers. It's tough.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers heading to Dallas and playing the Cowboys. This was a horrible game. I'm glad I went to bed in the third quarter when the Bucs went up 19-3 because nothing else happened after that. Chris Collinsworth sounded like shit.
Yeah, did you notice that? What happened there?
I don't know what. It sounded like he didn't have a voice.
It's not like he smoked a 12-pack of cigarettes or something.
I don't know. In that situation, dude, I mean, call off.
You gotta have someone else. I mean,
you can't have
it. Was distracting. Because I was like, dude, every time he went to speak, I was like, here we go again. At one point, I could barely hear him, so I had my TV turned up, and it cuts back to Tirico, and it was so loud. I was like, oh, what the fuck, this? And I ended up just I think I just listened to a podcast during the game. I was like, I can't do this.
I didn't really listen to it that much. I kind of turned my volume down because it was really hard to listen.
Yeah. Yeah, that was wild. Tirico though did a good job.
Oh, he did a phenomenal job. He should. I mean, just either have him do it solo or find someone to take over Collinsworth's spot.
Yeah,
Collinsworth has to be an adult in this situation, in my opinion, and just say, "Hey guys, you guys make the call. You guys can have me sound like shit, or find someone to replace me this time because it's not going to be worth my time."
Yeah, it's almost like they're like, "Oh, it doesn't sound that bad." And I'm like, "Dude, you guys realize it's only going to get worse as he talks throughout the broadcast."
Yeah, it's not like it's a 10-minute thing. It's a 3 to 4 hour thing.
Yeah. So we'll see. Some other bad news for Cowboy fans out there. Dak Prescott missed 6 to 8 weeks with thumb surgery. That sucks.
Cooper Rush.
Fire up Chips, baby.
He's their quarterback now.
So Cooper Rush moves into QB1, former Central Chippewa quarterback, Lansing Catholic product here in the state of Michigan. I'm excited to see what he's got moving forward. We'll see.
If you're the Cowboys, do you go after
I knew you were going to bring this
G?
up.
I mean, I say you have to at least attempt.
Inquire.
You have to attempt and say, "Hey, San Francisco, what do we have to give you to get Jimmy G over here in Dallas?"
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't give up a lot.
Not second round pick.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
like
6 to 8 weeks.
Second and 6.
Your season could be over before Dak comes back if you aren't competitive in 6. You know what I'm saying?
Cooper Rush would have to be about 500 in the next 6 to 8 weeks for them
to give them a chance to still make the playoffs.
I mean, especially the way the Eagles looked.
Yeah,
I can see the Eagles run away with that division. I mean, it's either division or you're not going to get in my opinion.
Yeah. I agree. I hope that they at least let Cooper play a little bit, just from like a biased standpoint. I'm excited to watch him. He played. I think Dak got hurt in a game last year, and he ended up playing on Monday Night Football and like balled out. I think he led like a last minute drive to take the lead, and they ended up winning. And he was super emotional after the game. His parents were in the stands. I don't know. I'm biased. I want to see Cooper Rush do well.
I hope he does. I mean, I hope he does. But
don't like the Cowboys, but I do like Cooper Rush.
It's that I think that they will bring, or at least inquire for Jimmy G.
I'm sure Jerry was already on the phone. You know what I mean? I was like, "Hey, friend, what do you?"
And that could when you come down and visit Dallas, you can stay at my place for free.
Yeah. Well, it's also one of those things. If you're the 49ers after losing to the Bears, are you even willing to part with Jimmy G? You might need him to save your season.
That's another thing. Yeah, is Trey Lance your guy now?
Right. You might need Jimmy G there to just have an adult in the room. I mean, Trey Lance is young man. So we'll see. Hopefully next week will present us with some more compelling storylines. NFL Week 1, it's always just the overreaction. You have the fans that are like, our season's already over, our team sucks. You have the fans that are like, our team's so good, and it's like, guys, everyone just take a
Our
second.
group chat for the Lions game at the
Oh,
beginning
yeah,
was so funny.
dude, it was a roller coaster.
It was like, Lions look good. Lions going to the Super Bowl. Lions are going to go 17-0. Nope. Lions are not going to win a single game. Sell the team. Sell everyone. Fuck it. Let's go.
Goff is horrible. And then, then when they started mounting a comeback, I was like, it was so funny.
DeAndre Swift, the best running back. I actually still think that. I still think that's a true statement.
I wish I would have like screenshot them because we text too much in that chat for me to go look. But there was some texts that were just so funny. It was like a roller coaster of emotions. Like you said, DeAndre Swift's the best running back in football. Feed him. Why aren't we throwing the ball? That's stupid. Why Colton's like texting like, they gotta hurry up. They gotta hurry up. You know what I mean? God, the Lions SOL, man. They really do it to us sometimes, man. They really put you through it sometimes. I don't wish being a fan of the Lions on anyone in this world.
I have a text I'm trying to go through. I'm like, I am pacing back and forth in my living room now. Tucker is looking at me like I'm a fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember. I'm pacing back and forth, and my dog's just staring at me like, "Are you okay? Like, is something wrong?"
Yeah. I know we already talked about the Lions game, but I just had this thought. When they stopped them on 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2, and then like Eagles brought their team back out and they did the Jalen Hurts sneak on 4th one. It's like such a thing because you think like as a fan, oh, we stopped them, they're gonna punt, and then like no, we'll just probably still be able to get just a yard, and they didn't say that sucks, man. I don't know. Like we said, they're competitive. Anything else? What else you got for the NFL? Anything?
I got nothing else for the NFL. If Sutton and Russell Wilson don't win me my fantasy weeks, I will tweet at them.
I like that. You got to let them know they got to play better.
Yeah, I will DM them saying you have to play better. You lost my fantasy week. Dude, what is going on? Dude, I swear to God, I saw a stat a couple minutes ago that Geno Smith started the game 7 for 7.
Geno Smith?
Geno Smith is the Seahawks quarterback.
I knew that, but like he stinks. So is Denver's defense just horrible or what?
This is before that touchdown. So he is. Okay, I'll add it. He is 8 for 11, 153 yards, 2 tutties now.
Yeah, so Geno Smith's just gonna be fantasy QB1 this week if he keeps this up. What the hell? Yeah, that guy was wide open too. Well, that about wraps it up for this show. Be sure to tune in later in the week. We're going to go through our picks of the week, a little flashback to our picks from last week, and then obviously we'll cover all relevant sports news that if anything comes up. We'll try. This episode was good though. We'll try to keep the energy up, throughout. It can get a little mundane when we're just running through these games.
Yeah, and I forgot to bring this up at the beginning of the episode, but things got a little hot last episode between you and me. Are we good? Are you good over there?
Are you fucking good?
I just want to make sure that you're okay over there because you got like really hot. I was just trying to bring up a conversation about golf, and then you just
don't see. Now you're trying to train.
And now you came at me.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure that me and you are good because like. Ever since then, it just felt like things were a little tense between you and me. Felt like that you were a little pissed off that I kind of called you out for shooting a 130 on the golf.
Are you serious? Are you didn't see you fucking doing this show. We'll see you guys fucking next time.
Love you guys.
Peace.
Love you guys.